Alright, so this is the image that we're dealing with today. Right, I just only did color correction only in Capture One. Right, so I'm importing this image to Photoshop 2022. Right, so when I import from Capture One, I import as TIFF. Right, but it will be under the profile is Adobe RGB. Right, so that's how I'm gonna edit it from Capture One to Photoshop as TIFF. Right, so now this is my image, how it looks without editing, without retouching, without fixing the background. So the first thing first, you have to duplicate this layer into two. Right, so before we retouch this image, we actually need to fix the background to make it white. Right, so I duplicate my layers to make it two. Right, so what I will need to do, I will do auto removal of the background. So the only way to do it, you go Windows and then go Properties. Right, and then when you go to Properties, there's what you call Quick Action that Photoshop offers you to select your image. So we select the subject so that we have much control with the removal of the background. Right, so now I selected the background. Check it out, sometimes it takes a bit longer, maybe a minute or less depending on the machine. Right, yeah, here's the thing. So when your background didn't select well, we need to fix it so that we select properly our subject, separating it from background. So what you have to do now, you have to zoom in as far as possible so that you can see the detail of your picture. So now use Shift, right? You press Shift and left click on the keyboard, and then you trace the edges of your image nicely. Take it easy when you're doing this, because the white background will show that it's not done properly when you're removing the background. So you keep on doing it, fixing it, the white. It's very easy but needs patience, right? So whenever you didn't do it right, you have to fix it. If you go out, you have to go with Alt. Alt is negative, so it's negative of what you have added on the image. So now you go Shift and right click as usual, and then that's it. That's how you do it. Check it out. It has to be neat, guys. When you're doing these images, very neat. It has to be very neat, and take your time sorting it out. Right, so you see how I'm redoing this thing. That's how you have to do it if you made a mistake, so that you won't have any problem or any issue with removal of the background. Some of them, they're nice, it does well, pretty well on auto removal of backgrounds, but sometimes you see on nails, these are tiny things that you just have to go and adjust, like what I'm doing now. Right, check it well. I actually zoomed in, and then I'm actually tracing on the outside of the nails. Right, check it out, and you must have patience on this, doing this, so that your image will come out right. Alright, zoom. See how I'm zooming, because I don't want to cut my subject. Check, I'm zooming, so I don't want to cut my subject. Check it out here, how I'm setting it out with the lasso tool. Right, so this is the same thing that you have to do. If you fail, if you made a mistake when you are using a lasso tool, you just say Ctrl Z, it will fix the problem. Right, I'm sure that we are together when I'm doing this. We are doing together. Now I'm on the hair side, so check it out how I'm doing also here. You just do the Shift Control, that the same thing that we've been doing on the whole image, and then check how it's coming out. Right, it's pure straight. If you check it well, it's pure straight, right? Now you see I can zoom on the ear, right? You can see how I'm fixing it. Can you see how I'm fixing it? Can you see how I'm fixing it? Check it out. I'm fixing it, right? Alright, this is the head. Right, I have also to fix the head, right, so that everything will properly done. You don't have to be fast or doing this. You have to take detail when you are fixing this image. So this is step by step. Check how I'm doing it. Alright, alright, and also here we need to zoom and fix this button. It's not really selected well as it's supposed to be, right? It's supposed to be like this, right? But check it out how I'm fixing it. Check it out how I'm fixing it, right? So check it out, guys, check it out. So this is how we do it. It says here, everyone is a say on this channel. So if it's first time to be part of this channel, please subscribe and like and share this video. I'm doing it for free so that I can share my knowledge with what I know on photography. So now I have to remove my subject from the background. So you say Control J, that's the shortcut, and then I remove from the background, right? So now click on the image so that you can click the image, and then you go select, and then you go inverse so that we select the background on its own, and then we say Control J, and then the background was removed. And then now what we have to do, it's simple. The first thing first, right? The first things first, I take a page 2. Remember, check my background is dirty, my page 2, and then I'll just drag it to a cleaner place. The page 2, you can see I'm dragging what is dirty to the cleaner place. Right, this is beautiful. Now I need to make it more whiter. How do I do that? Right, that's skillful now. So now we go image and then go adjust. Once you go adjust, go replace color. Right, when you go replace color, what you have to do, I use a sign plus here, the one which is on the middle, which is a dropper tool, right? And then I'll select the color that I want that looks more white on my image, and then I'll remove the saturation, right? As you can see, I'm removing the saturation, and then I'll increase the light. Check, reducing the saturation, increase the light, right? I think my before and after, let me show you. This is before, this is after. Yeah, it's a bit white, but I need to increase it more to be more whiter than what you are seeing there. So I'll go to my selection tool, and then I'll go to hue and saturation. Alright, once I go to hue and saturation, I want to make it more lighter. Can you see? It's more white, right? The more I increase, the more white it becomes, right? If I reduce it, it becomes black. So I increase it to maybe to 4:1. This is now white and clean. Can you see that? This is perfect, right? Right. So this is our before of background and after. So I'm sure you have seen how I removed the background. So I'll summarize how I did it. So you go Windows, and then you go properties. Once you go properties, you scroll down and then go select subject. When you select subject. Once you're done selecting the subject, then you make sure that you use a laser tool to fix the errors of automatic selection of the subject. Once you're done with that, you take out the background by Ctrl J, and then it came off, the subject came off from the background, and then after you touch the second layer and then go select and then go inverse, and then once you're done with inverse, and then you Ctrl J, and then you remove that background, and then you actually have a background and a subject. Now after that, after you're done, then you can fix the whites on the background to make it more whiter. So how I did it, I go to image, after image I go to adjustment layer, and then I go to replace color, and then on replace color, then you select with the pen drop the white background that you want, and then you make light and reduce saturation selection of the color, and then you go to hue and saturation. So that's how I did it. So now we want to retouch this image. So the best way to do it here on this image, I just have to duplicate my layer for the background, right? And then once it's duplicated, now I know that it's white as pure as it's supposed to be, right? So duplicate that layer to be 2 to have more quality, and then I will say Control Alt Shift and E to make it 1. I have to go Control Alt Shift E, and then it merges all the layers, right? I'm happy with that. So now I have, before I retouch my image, I need to make sure that I remove the pimples or the blemishes on my image. So how I do it to remove the blemishes, I'll go and pick the patch tool. So the patch tool can also remove the blemishes, but you have to zoom in as possible so that you can really quick select it. And once you select, just move. That's how I do it here to remove my pimples before I go to retouching. So check, so you have to take time moving your pimples to make them more smoother as possible, to remove them and make sure that there's no pimple on the skin. So that's what I'm doing. That's the process that I'm actually doing. You can see I'm removing the pimples, so but they are tiny pimples, so you have to make sure that you remove all, so that your image will come out right when you retouch, when you make the smoothing of the skin, right? So this is part of retouching, to remove the pimples. It's very important on image, every image that you do, make sure that you remove the pimples. It's much way important on retouching to remove the pimples. So I'm just using a laser tool that I'm using. So but there are many tools that you can use instead of this. There are other tools that you can use, guys, to remove the pimples. Yes, I'm sure we are together, we are moving together on this with the same pace. So that's how I remove my pimples, and we take it easy. When you remove the pimples, make sure you select the pimple as it is. Check, I'm zooming in so that I make sure I remove all the pimples that are unnecessary, all the blemishes on my skin. This is what I'm doing. So I'm sure, guys, you are subscribing, you are liking the video, and you are commenting the video so that it will suggest to other people as well. This is our first video, guys, so make sure you subscribe, make sure you invite people to also learn the skills that makes you make some bags on your spare time. Alright, so now check. So I'm done removing the blemishes. Now it's time to smoothen the skin. So how I do it to smoothen my skin, it's very simple. I have an automatic skin smoothing that I use. Check it out. You go Windows, and then you go Actions, and then you go to Auto FX. So this is the one that I'm using, Auto FX, but now I need to use the one with sharper, Auto FX with sharper. So I'll just play that action, and then it will give me where I have to adjust my smoothing. So normally I put 6, and then I'm happy. Normally I'll be happy with 6. Check it out how it does automatic this selection of the skin, and it smoothen the skin on its own. So you won't even take long when you are doing the retouching with your images. So that's the best way you can be faster on retouching. So my skin is smoothening, and I'm happy with it, and I'm very happy. Check how it shows, and it's detailed. Check how it is. Check it images all the layers that were under the top layer when you do the smoothing. So but it's okay. I'm sure you have seen the process. You can even redo the video so that you check how I did the process. So now now after this Auto FX, I'll do Control Alt Shift and E to merge and have a layer without the Auto FX retoucher on it. Right, this is clean and nice. So I'll go to adjustment layer, which is this one. I'll select that, and then I'll select color. Right, that's how I color grade my images. Once I select color, I go to reds. So on reds I'll test how my image will look. So when I take to negative, a negative of cyan to its end, it gives me too much red. So I'll take it to maybe to 22, and then I'll go to yellow. It's not coming out right, then I'll leave it like that. And then magenta, definitely it won't even work the way I want. It makes the image red and it's bad. Right, so I'll make it 0. So the only two that you can just adjust, it's the cyan most of the time. That's the best one when you are adjusting the reds, right, on selective color. Then I'll go to yellow. So on yellow, I'll try sienna how it looks on my image. Check if I increase to positive, it will be a bit white, yellowish on the face. Can you see? And then if I make it negative, it will be a bit reddish. So I have to be on the medium between the two. So I think to put on 16 is the best, right? Negative 16. It depends on the image, how it's popping your colors the way you want. You are not limited, guys, when you are doing this color grading thing. It's about your choice. So when you go to yellow, you can see the more I reduce yellow, it will be a bit cold. If I increase it, it's a bit yellow. So I don't want it to be yellow, I want it to be a bit cold. So I'll go negative 20. Right, this is my choice. Right, and then now I'll go to blacks. I want my blacks to pop, so I'll just go to layer, the last layer for the blacks, which is black, and then I'll increase maybe to positive 3. Right, this is my blacks. I think I'm happy with everything. So now I'm done color grading my image. As you can see, before and after, before and after. Can you see? Let me zoom for you, and then you see my before and after, before and after, before and after. So that's how it looks when I color grade. So now if I'm done color grading, I have now to merge my layers of color grading, and then I'll go Control Alt Shift E. Right, that's how I do that. And then after, I have to put quality on the image. I have to put the detail on the image. So how do I do that so that it will pops my image, it will pop? So I'll go to filter, right, I select filter, and then I'll go to others, and then I'll go to high pass. High pass, it will give me a filter which is high pass, and then I will use 2, which is already set on my high pass. Right, and then I'll click OK, and then once I click OK, I'll go to overlay. and then I'll click OK overlay, and then now you can see how detailed my image is, and then I'll show you before and after. When you look at this image, check how detailed it is, and then I'll go before, right, and after. So if you see it's too much on an image, like what I'm seeing now, it's like plastic a bit, so I will reduce the opacity of that image maybe to 65, and then I'll also reduce the fill maybe to 74, right, but I'm happy with it. Check before, after, right, and then let me zoom out, and then you see my before and after, which is before and after, right, and then I'll do image layers, Control Alt Shift and E. That's how I do it. So thank you guys for watching the tutorial. So I hope you share, you subscribe and like, so that I will do more.